everyone. This is JJ Outlaw.
Hi, this is T Outlaw.
And we are the co-hosts of the Gourmet Goober Podcast. You can catch me, JJ Outlaw, anytime at JJ Outlaw on Twitter, at Gourmet Goober on Instagram. And if you happen to be online and on Facebook, even though I try not to be, but if you are, you can catch us at the Gourmet Goober blog on Facebook. Because, we started off as a blog. As always, I'm here with my BFF, that dude, my hubby, my good friend, the Dark Desperado, all of that stuff that he makes me say every podcast.
That's right.
T Outlaw, a.k.a. Big Daddy. How's it going?
It's going well. You can find me, T Outlaw, on Twitter at T Outlaw, TOUTLAW, and on Instagram at T Outlaw Chelsea Wells.
And speaking of getting in contact with us, you can always find information about the Gourmet Goober at thegourmetgoober.com, which is kind of important this week because this week's episode, we are celebrating our we hit number 2 this week. Woohoo!
Number 2 with the bullet.
So for those of you who may not be, or maybe out of the Chicagoland area, the Gourmet Goober started as a blog in 2013. It was a food blog originally that I started because I wanted to document kind of my culinary adventures when I crossed the border from the Chicagoland area where I was living. Okay, the suburbs, because Big Daddy will be offended if I called it Chicago.
No, the people of Chicago would be offended when you call it wherever.
And I moved to, as I lovingly put it, the south side of Chicago, which is Gary, which by the way,
the region,
which will come up later on in our conversation. I was just tickled by something I saw today.
Okay.
But when I moved to the region in Northwest Indiana, I was just really blown away by all the hidden foodie wonders that exist in the place. So I started the Gourmet Goober blog, and from that, it was really, really a fun time. We had an opportunity to do everything from going to a party held in Schaumburg hosted by Pac-Man, and it was a Mardi Gras themed party for adults.
Holla.
To getting food sweats at Fogo de Chao.
Double.
At their invitation, mind you. To hanging out with one of the coolest people I know from WBEZ and being on the radio on Vocalo.org. So, yeah, it's kind of a crazy ride. And a few years ago, when we were more busy with our day jobs, Big Daddy and I realized that, hey, we have this really cool property that we really loved. Let's do something special with it. And that's when we decided to turn it into a podcast.
Yes.
And it has been a crazy experience. We have had a chance to talk to some really incredible people. We've had a chance to be interviewed by some incredible people. Unfortunately, the Rona got into our, dining experiences, as many outdoor events have been cut off by the Rona. But in these 2 years, we've just been really blessed to have just an opportunity to meet a lot of you listeners and learn more about, food and coffee and just different things. And, being the goofs that we are, we always talk about the intersection of food and pop culture. And there's a lot to talk about. So how has this journey been for you? I mean, can you believe that we made it 2 years? Because I know most podcasts, last like 7 or 8 episodes or something like that?
Yes.
So the fact that we have over 40 is kind of crazy, right?
It is crazy. But, I mean, the episodes keep piling up, and apparently some of y'all keep listening. So I'm like, hey, keep it going. Let's bring in more.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised some of y'all keep listening. I'm like, really? Oh, my God. There's that many food wonks out there? I'm actually impressed.
Yes, food is a universal language, and apparently you get the right people together, and they love to talk about it.
Dude, we have advertisers. People pay us to say stuff.
Hey, I need more.
I mean, it's not like we have like a lot of advertisers, okay? But
no, we ain't making bank off of it, but
no, we're not
change is
making the
change.
read money.
No.
But we're doing okay. And we just want to take this opportunity, all jokes aside, to just say thank you guys. Because when we started this podcast, we were like, will anyone listen? And people listen. And, will we get feedback from people? Yeah, it's just been a really cool experience. So we are looking forward to, as we move on to our third year, to have even more surprises with you. You guys, in the coming weeks, we'll be interviewing someone who's actually won a James Beard Award. Like, when I found this out, I'm going to be like, I'm not worthy.
You want to explain the James Beard Award?
Yes. So the James Beard Award is kind of like the foodie Oscars. So they have incredible chefs, they have historians who win these awards, they have just a wide variety of people, like restaurants that win the James Beard Award. I mean, it is kind of like the ultimate in excellence in everything food. And so I can't wait in the coming weeks to share with you guys who we're going to be interviewing. But yeah, this is going to be a big year for us in so many ways, and we hope that you are along for the ride. So just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And I know I've been doing all the talking, so is there anything you want to add?
No, we are very appreciative of everyone who listens, and we once again would like to, and very much are enthusiastic about the readership and the people who are listening, and we very much encourage you to tell others and to have them listen. And we enjoy your feedback, positive and negative, to an extent. Please keep talking, keep listening, and help us grow the universal language of food.
Yes. And about that, because I get asked all the time, how do we help you guys grow? We kind of really dig you. Well, the Gourmet Goober, you can support us in a number of ways.
Give us money.
Well, yes, you could always donate us money. And you can go to our website, thegourmetgoober.com, if you wanted to donate. And every dollar kind of helps us in different ways, not only for the money that we do with this particular podcast, but we want to grow in other ways, and we have other content that we're working on. For those of you who know us as well and who's been listening to us also, we created our own distribution company because we wanted to control our content in every way. And we've actually been able to be able to donate to others as well. So through our philanthropic work with Plum Good Giving. So just know that not only donations will help us, but help support organizations that we really feel strongly about supporting as well. But yeah, it also helps us keep the lights on. So yay. You could also help us out by going to gooberswag.com and buying some Goober gear. We've got some very fine mugs and aprons because we're all things foodie. But we have t-shirts that, let people know that you're gumbo worthy. Or if you're a little bit gourmet and a lot ratchet like we are. So wherever you identify for, we got stuff for you. So you can hit that up.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, if you don't have that scratch to spend, because I know times are rough right now with the pandemic, you can go to Apple Podcasts, or you can go to Stitcher and drop us that 5-star review. And when you do that, we may actually read the review on the show. Shout out to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast who gave us that excellent idea. But yeah, that's a way to kind of help support us. And of course, you can just, like Big Daddy said, tell a friend.
Tell all your friends.
Say, hey, this stuff is pretty dope. Can we listen to it? Also, and since we're talking about dope, I want to give a shout out as well to Dope Black Podcasts, to thecrosspods.com, and also to Podcasts in Color. All have been really great in helping grow our audience and helping sharing our stuff with listeners and potential new people. So thank you as we're growing in our second year. Also want to thank our friends at sofoodie.com for not only being our first guest on the show, but helping us and promote us, as well as our friends at profoodtruck.com, at chonella.com. Not only you guys inspire us with your content, but you guys really have helped us grow and be better podcasters. So thank you to all of you for that. You really made Gooberland be an incredible part of our lives. We've learned so much from all of you, and we're thankful.
Yes. Listen, and give us the feedback.
Yes. So now that we've got all the housekeeping out of the way, this is the segment of the show for new listeners where we usually share about our week before we go on to talk about, the topics of each podcast. So, hey, how was your week?
How was my week?
I know you got birthday cake, so that was always a good thing for the podcast.
That's right.
We've decided that we're old and any excuse to eat cake is a good thing.
That's right. It's okay to be a fat kid who loves cake.
And we are both that.
Yes. As long as we do it in moderation. How was my week? For the most part, my week is, I'm still working and I am still learning with everything at work. But what I was going to once again touch upon, I'm not trying to stray political in any way, but
No, I don't think this is political. I think this is life.
This is life.
Because it affects us.
Yes. This is more, just as we say, culture. And in my mind, the biggest thing that really affected my week and the week of this nation was the guilty verdicts, as you will, of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, that was huge for both of us. It wasn't just you, but I think part of the thing that kind of surprised me was how we were preparing ourselves for no matter what happened on the stand that he would get away with it. Like we were just telling ourselves all week, like, don't get too attached, don't get too wrapped up. So when he came back with 3 guilties, I was beyond shocked. And obviously it's a good thing because in my mind, he's definitely guilty. We all saw the tape. I don't see how you can argue against it, although they did try. I mean, they blamed the crowd. They blamed him. It always enrages me when they blame him for their own deaths. They blamed carbon monoxide, which is insane because why would he be exposed to carbon monoxide if 1, the car is a Prius, but 2, let's suppose it was carbon monoxide. Why was he on the ground exposed to the carbon monoxide? Oh, I know, because the guy's knee was on his neck.
Okay.
But
sure.
But yeah, I know Big Daddy and I, behind the scenes, off mic, we spent quite a bit of time of talking about it, whether or not it represents what a sea change in people's thinking. Because I know there was a lot of us who wasn't expecting him to get away. Like, were you expecting him to get convicted?
I was expecting a guilty verdict on something, but on the 3 counts that were laid against him, in my mind, no. I was actually under the impression that it would end up being the first time through a hung jury.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because it only take one person to screw things up.
Yeah. And there are a lot of ways that this could have come to either a hung jury or it could have been suspended, with, outside influences, I guess you would say, lending their ear or their voice to the case. And as we were witness to, for me personally, there were a lot of things I felt during this time, but ultimately, the one thing that just kept pulsing through my mind was that we are all human and we are all flawed, including the person who was on the, had his knee on the neck of George Floyd. He is human. He made a mistake, but the mistake he made ultimately was not that of doing, his, a reaction, as you will, to a person who did wrong. Because hell, we all do wrong. But the biggest thing that affected me, like looking at this video, Lord willing, because there was video, was that for X amount of time, while the knee was on the neck, however George Floyd perished, a man has knee on the neck and was literally taking life and freedom from a man for 9 minutes. That was more than just, as you would say, it was more than just like, a reaction or someone fearing for their life. This was a man taking away a life. And for the person for George Floyd, whose life was taken, it was a man who, was flawed, had things going on, but it was really, you learned a lot about humanity and the reaction to it. And I guess for me, that was the biggest thing I took from the verdict.
Okay. So, and I know when you said, and I know what you were trying to say when you indicated that Derek Chauvin made a mistake, because we don't know what was going through his mind. One could assume it definitely looked like it was intentional. I'm not sure if that was what in his mind, but whatever happened, what we watched on the video was someone's last moments of life.
Yes.
And someone crying out for help, crying out for his mother, someone who was pleading. You saw in the testimonies children who were there, including a 9-year-old girl who was basically pleading for the life of George Floyd in its final moments. I think that's what you're trying to say, that essentially that's what we saw.
That was exactly what I wanted to say.
And it was very disturbing, nonetheless. So our thoughts are definitely with his family, because although the verdict is down, there are multiple officers that are involved. So this is only one of, I believe, 2 or 3 trials that are yet to go, in order to seek justice for their brother. I know there's a monetary settlement that was reached with the family, but that can't bring back the brother. That can't bring back the father, the son, the person that was in their lives. And my heart definitely goes out to them, because I know that they're going to be grieving. For the young person particularly, and I wish I wrote down her name. It was a young teenager who was brave enough to take the video. My heart goes out to her too, because she was a teenager. And you just think back, for those of you who obviously have many decades removed from being a teenager, and what goes through your mind and how terrified you would have been if you were faced with that scenario. And for her to have the presence of mind and actually do that, because in essence, her willingness to act as a citizen journalist and just document what happened, there would be no guilty verdict without that. Because think about how many young men and women, a lot of them are people of color, who wound up getting hurt or killed by the police department, and there are no videotape, and we just have to take their word. I mean, even with George Floyd, their initial report said he died due to a medical incident. No, the medical incident was his knee was on the neck. And that didn't come out until after the tape went out. So certainly my thoughts are with her and her family. I hope that she has found peace, because, to hear her on the stand, she had a lot of guilt. But just the bravery that took, and certainly the bravery of the 9-year-old to come forward, the older gentleman that came forward, the woman who was the firefighter who was off duty, all of them, my extreme gratitude, and I'm sure the gratitude of the family feels the same, because without their honesty, the input, this judgment would not have occurred.
The other thing that bothers me about the trial was this occurred. George Floyd lost his life over a year ago. Or I'm sorry, he lost his life. Sorry, it was less than a year ago, but it was a while ago. Before this trial came through, a number of people, unarmed or unarmed at the time of their injury or loss of life, have lost their life since. And the thing is that whatever way you feel about it, there are a lot of people that are no longer with us. And all we can say is, damn, we got one, but there are many more that fell after him, and there are many more that will continue to fall until we get it together.
Well, the key thing is whether or not we'll be able to get it together. But yeah, definitely shout out to everyone who was able to pull that off and getting a triple conviction, a conviction rather, on all three counts. Because that's extraordinary. That's unheard of. And it's sad that we're all celebrating to the bit that we were for what seems like it should be an open and shut chance at justice. But we all know, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Rodney King thing, and what happened after the Rodney King verdict, when it was so like there was a camera there too. But I'm hoping rather that this represents a shift in people's thinking, so that I know that, when we were young and, hip hop was young and they were telling people about the police and things like that. And I know going to class, oh, that doesn't really happen. Oh, Jennifer, you're exaggerating. Why would I exaggerate? Now there's film. So now people know. So the point I'm trying to say is that it's one step in the right direction. But it's only one step.
True.
Outside of that, it sounds like you had a good week. You had cake.
I did have cake. Cake is good. I like cake.
Well, I know for my week,
hopefully it was a lot better.
My week was extraordinarily busy. I have some projects and I'm still chasing people down in order to complete at work in my day job. Luckily, I'm very lucky. I have a really incredible boss who's been very supportive.
Yes.
We are going through it right now with Fido, Braxton, a.k.a. our doggy executive producer. He has a cone on his head because, unfortunately, he has like a weird hot spot on his, what is it, his front right paw?
Yes. The front passenger wheel is got a bruise on it.
The front passenger paw. It's got a bruise on it. Outside of that, and it's a ginormous cone. Like, he can't see, he can't eat with it on. It's ridiculous. He tries to chase a cat and he keeps bumping into things.
We can't help that he has this big doggy head.
Also, outside of that, he has terrible allergies. And so the poor dog has scratched himself to the point where he has like raw patches underneath his neck.
Yeah, we just had to make sure he didn't have, fleas or anything crazy going on, but now he has the itchies.
Yeah, so we have him on this crazy, insane dog medication right now, so hopefully he'll do that. But yeah, he's pretty miserable. And of course, when he's miserable, I'm not in a good spirit, so that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all bad news because I got to watch the season finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh God, here we go.
No, I'm not gonna overdo it.
And now comes the dissertation. The dissertation by Dr. Jennifer. What's your name again? JJ Outlaw?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So we will now have the remarks from JJ Outlaw about the Falcon, now the new Captain America, and the Winter Soldier.
Well, wait a minute. Stop. Should we say spoiler alert? Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, you're jumping ahead.
No, I wasn't jumping ahead. You said it to me, so thus it is now a thing.
Okay.
if you've been following this damn show, you basically knew where this was going.
Anyway, so yes, as those of you who've listened to our show over the past 2 years, you know that I'm a Marvel wonk. I grew up reading Marvel comic books. I'm still a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney Plus has been doing an excellent job of having more shows in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So their second series after WandaVision, which it was an incredible television feat. I mean, it was just amazing what they did. But follows two characters, the Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie, and the Winter Soldier, played by Sylvester Stan, aka Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, I like to call it, Bucky and Bruh.
T couldn't remember their name. It's so, what was it? You called it Bucky and the Brother Man?
Bucky, that's right. Bucky and Bruh Man.
I'm like, put some respect on Falcon's name, on Sam's name.
That's right. Winter Soldier and Sam Wilson. That's it.
Bucky and the Brother Man.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That guy. Bucky and Broham.
Bucky and Broham.
That dude. The cut the check guy.
So anyway, if you've not seen the show, it is 6 episodes of incredible television. And it's more than just, the thing I really like about the show, the storytelling is actually pretty on target with what's going on right now in our nation's history. So essentially, if you've not seen Endgame, which Endgame was a long time ago, so y'all should have known this by now. Captain Steve Rogers, gives his shield, he's the original Captain America, to Sam Wilson at the end of that. And the whole show follows Sam Wilson and kind of his personal development, whether or not he wants to take on the mantle of being Captain America. Because as a black man, holding that shield is complicated, right?
It is.
And they did an excellent job in introducing reasons as to why it's more than just a comic book show. So there's like honest discussions about race. And one particular character who, in many respects, was the first black Captain America, but he didn't get the welcome return that Steve Rogers did in Greeted as a Hero. And it kind of parallels what happened in real life for black men and women, mostly men back then, but also black women who fought for their country and wars that were fought in foreign soil, only to come back and to not be treated as full citizens. And it did so without, pulling any punches, in a way that felt real and legitimate. And, there was moments throughout the 6 episodes that I cried for Isaiah Bradley's character. But it also did a good job, just like WandaVision, in bringing back old characters such as Sharon Carter, Baron Zemo, the Dora Milaje.
Nobody knows who these people are.
Well, y'all should.
Okay, I'll give you
the thing.
Okay, we'll give you the Dora Milaje because they were the ones that were the ones that protected the Black Panther.
Yes, the Dora Milaje are those fierce black women who served as the protector of King T'Challa, a.k.a. the Black Panther. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman, best in peace. But yeah, even the Dora Milaje had a part in it where they kicked new Captain America's ass. Not Sam, but I'd like to call him faux Captain America.
Well, yeah, there was this. I mean, it also talked about, the fact that originally, Sam didn't take upon, he didn't carry the shield. And there was a person who stepped forward and said, "Hey, I'm that guy." And he got a very rude lesson on, everything it took to be, build the suit and carry the shield.
And I'm not going to talk about it because I could talk about it all day.
And she can.
No, I have not, but I've really obsessed over every episode. Whereas the second to last episode, remember we were watching it and it got to the point where Bucky was like, okay, I know I've worn out my welcome in Wakanda, but can y'all do one more favor for me? And Ayo, a member of the Dora Milaje, is like, what? And so he brings Sam this like big box, right? And so all episode, you knew what was in the box. The box had his new outfit when Sam was like, okay, I am Captain America. Put some respect on my name, people. But he opens the box and then it cuts to a commercial. Oh no, it cuts to the credits. And I was so mad I was punching the air.
That was kind of cute to watch you like get all mad because they cut off before he realized what was going on.
I was like, oh no, we knew what was going on. It was just like, dare they show it? Dun, 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 dun. You see the theme song? I'm like, no! I want to see the outfit! Must I wait another week? And I did.
And she's still here.
But no, shout out to everyone at Marvel for making just really great storytelling. So
here's the thing about Marvel and their storytelling. I, as a person, grew up. I mean, I've watched some of these shows and watched some of these comics. And I'm sorry, what?
I said he's a DC guy.
I'm not a DC guy. I can tell you the difference between DC, Marvel, G.I. Joe, whatever the hell it is.
It's just DC.
Yeah, I was watching Archie or comics for all I know.
It's so cute. He'll say something like, that's DC, sweetie. That's not the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm basically comic illiterate. I'm willing to say that. Like, I could be like, hey, is Batman fighting Iron Man? No, two different places. But yes, pretty much one of the things I will say about DC
or Marvel. You're talking about Marvel.
No, I am getting to Marvel. What I'm saying is that we know that DC in their movies, they can be downtrodden. But, sometimes they tell a good story, but sometimes they really kind of go through the drudge of how they tell stories. Whereas with Marvel, one of the things I've learned, through the Goobers' eyes here, maybe it's because my eyes are like brand new to this, is that not only through the movies, but also through these limited series, is that there are so many random, as you would say, Easter eggs and nuggets and like little things that keep popping up and people coming in and out of the story that you're like, I mean, I guess I'm up for a good story, but like the Goobers become like obsessive about like finding these little Easter eggs and like, confirming with other people how, how this connects with this and how, through the history of America or the world, just like this got to this point and like, how the different movies kind of come together. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. God damn it. That's exactly what I was going to say right there. I'm as stupid as fudge right now. But yeah, this is how Marvel has entertained me through her. So that's all I got.
No. I think the really cool thing, at least about this series, even more so than WandaVision, because WandaVision, you almost had to be a fan of the comic books to know what was going on. So, like the whole thing with Agatha and like some of the little Easter eggs they had, like in one of the episodes, they were in a grocery store and they showed a cow's character. And if you know the weird story behind Wanda and Pietro when they were young, you kind of got the cow joke. You almost had to be like a rabid Marvel fan for this. For the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they did a really good job of at least walking you through the characters and some of their history and their background, because for most people, their entry point, unless you're like deep in the weeds comic books or like major characters like Captain America, for example, and those type of things. So at least the way they tell the story, which I think is really nice, is that my mom, for example, who does not like comic books at all could at least follow the story. But then they have these little nuggets for people who are like rabid fans like I am. So, for example, Enrique Torres, who Falcon has been working with all throughout the story, if you're familiar with Enrique, you know that when Captain America assumed, Sam rather assumed the mantle of Captain America, well, there was a space for a Falcon. And Enrique becomes the next Falcon. So they laid the groundwork for Enrique in order to do it. And then it's cool because they really played it out so there's ties to other movies. So one of the things that happened, which I thought was really cool during this week, is if you guys have ever, hopefully you guys had a chance to see that really great trailer that dropped this last week on Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. And part of that is actually set in Madripoor, which also appeared and was introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier to the cinematic universe. Plus, if you're fans, you also know that the X-Men also plays a part in Madripoor, this mystical island where, it's almost like a pirate's retreat. So there are no laws. You can kind of do what the hell you want. Legal stuff is okay there. So it's really exciting to see how they weave in and out. And he's right. I've been kind of obsessed with that.
Yeah, there's so much, black nerdish stuff going on right now. I'm sitting over here in the corner.
I tried to explain it to you, though.
This is like trigonometry and calculus, which I barely got through in high school.
Okay, well, you know what? The other thing that excited me this week outside of the verdict and just closing out my week was Mortal Kombat dropped. And okay, I know this sounds weird. I've never really talked about it. I kind of really like playing games. I don't do it as often as I like one because I'm always shocked that video game units cost more than like my car note. And I really have to think about that because the last video game unit we had, the dog chewed the cord.
Yeah, good producer, bad producer, bad producer.
Yes, bad producer. But more importantly, I'm just so busy. I don't have time to play as much as I want to. But I also know myself. So if I had access to Tekken, I would literally, Big Daddy would have to hide the video game from me because I can play Tekken all day. I love Tekken.
Okay, so basically things that we have found out about the Gourmet Goober so far.
I'm a nerd.
She's a blurred, and she's kind of a gamer girl.
Yes, but things have changed since Mortal Kombat. Like Big Daddy and I, okay.
No, the Goober over here.
No.
I'm just over here in the periphery.
No. I was going to tell the story about how Mortal Kombat. We're such old people.
Oh hell!
We remember when the first Mortal Kombat came out, and it was like when we met in college, it hit like the consoles, right?
Oh hell! Here it comes! Here it comes!
Do you want to tell the story about how I
No.
It was rather entertaining. Before we dated, we used to hang out a lot, and let's just say I beat Big Daddy multiple times in Mortal Kombat. So we kind of have a thing about the story. In fact, it got so funny, I let him choose the character I beat him with.
I think she beat me, like, literally took a carry and beat us at it, like, put a fatality on me, like, using the body of another, I don't know.
I was like, I haven't whooped your ass with Sonya in a while. Mind if I do it? Sure. It got so bad. His roommates came home, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm whooping his ass in Mortal Kombat. Do you know they went in the kitchen and got some food and beers and watched us? Literally, the only thing that stopped the whole carnage was finally, I was like, we have to go to bed. It's like hella late. And you're like, I don't care. I'm going to keep playing until I beat you. You guys, this is what happened. Oh my God, my controller is no longer working. I can no longer play Mortal Kombat. Now, you would take that as, okay, she is clearly throwing me the W. Would you take that? Oh, he hella took it. He pretended like he was the big man on campus. Like, yes! Totally took me out. And I was like, okay, now we can go to bed.
And?
Even to this day, there's no shame in that.
And?
He's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, that's right. Why crash, sweat, 2 tears in a bucket? Fuck it, let's take it to the stage. That's what I did.
So clearly, we have been old fans of Mortal Kombat, and I think I've talked on the show before how Big Daddy laughs at me because I love the 90s movies so much. I know, okay, let me clarify this. The first Mortal Kombat, not Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Please, for the love of God, do not watch that movie ever. It is awful. But the first one in the 90s, oh, that's some cheesy fun. I love that movie. I know every word by heart. I get really giggly when Lord Raiden, who's played by French actor Christopher Lambert, is talking to Sonya, who we're supposed to believe it's a fierce fighter, but it's Brigitte Sampras. And she's like, a handful of people, it's in a leaky boat, it's going to save the world. And Raiden's like, yeah, exactly. Y'all gonna die. No, it's really funny. So I wanted to see the reboot, which was out this weekend. It was actually supposed to be out last weekend, but they pushed it a week, which really pissed me off. But yeah, it was. I would say it's a somewhat good movie. I mean, they focus more on the fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So Bi-Han in the original Sub-Zero, which is Bi-Han, and Scorpion Hanzo. They introduced a new character, which I thought was interesting. But the part that I was watching by myself, because Big Daddy's like, look, I heard that they're like slicing people in two and shit. I want nothing of that.
No. Let's just go ahead and keep it real here.
Oh, okay.
Let's drop 100. Yeah.
All right.
She basically like dropped caveat on me, like, listen, I don't know if you should be watching this because
you don't like gory stuff.
Yeah, you have sensitive delicacies, and you may not be able to take all the blood and gore because this is going to be like really raw. And I'm like, okay, I know.
Dude, we went to go see Ghost of Mars and you hit your face.
Because they have random dudes like, with
heads on a spike. Yeah.
With heads on a spike. Yeah, that's a little real. But I'm like, okay, this will be, this. I can tolerate cartoon violence. She's like, it's going to be like Saw. And I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Well, they said it was supposed to be really bloody. And make no mistake, I actually was kind of wondering how they got an art rating. Because some of that stuff was like, oh, okay. So you like sliced girlfriend in half. All right. You like blew off his head. Okay. All right.
Cool.
Bet. But so I told you that let me watch it first.
Like a good parent should.
And then if I knew it wasn't going to horrify you, I could just tell you, right? Because I don't want you. And let me just say, okay.
You went so Beverly Goldberg on me.
Big Daddy. It's not that Big Daddy is a scaredy cat. He is not.
No, I'm a straight up puss.
He just doesn't like blood.
Yes, like, I could take a shot, but, if I'm seeing blood squirting every year and it's like, it looks like real good blood and like things falling off that look really, really real, yeah, I might have a Lucy moment.
But,
as she giggles.
But, okay. So I'm watching the film, right? And Big Daddy is taking a nap on the couch. And then I wake him up because, and I'm not going to give it away. I mean, you guys can watch the movie yourself. But one of the characters in the movie lives in Gary, Indiana.
Ironically enough, of all the characters you could pick,
it's Sonya.
The one who was played by Brigitte Wilson Sampras, the Blonde Ambition tour up in there, is the one who is from what was her background again?
No, I forget the new lady. I think her name is Jessica McAnamy, but
whatever.
But Sonia's character, she's in special forces. So she's in the military.
Okay.
And at one point, Cole, who is the major character, he's told to find her. And she lives in Gary, Indiana. And it's so funny because we also found that Cole's character, the new character, is from the south side of Chicago. And like I was sharing with our friends, it was just like, because I have some friends who saw it and who wasn't really thrilled with the movie. And part of the reason why is they're pointing out, well, the acting. And I'm just like, no, the acting's fine. First of all, I wasn't expecting Shakespeare. It's kind of like my love of Freddy versus Jason. You got what you paid for. You paid for Mortal Kombat and a lot of video and martial arts fighting, and you get that in spades. But I would like to offer for those of you who watch the movie to watch it with an open mind, because once I found out that two characters is from the south side of Chicago in Gary, Indiana, that changed how I see how they were acting in the movie. From my point of view, they did an excellent job because, let me tell you, for someone who has lived in the south side of Chicago, as we do now, nothing phases you. Because, bitch, you've seen some things if you live in Gary, Indiana. Having Goro come after you is nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure Goro would be like chasing me down the street in GI if he got the chance.
We were laughing at that during the movie. It was just like, oh, so that's not why it doesn't faze her to be attacked by an invisible reptile. She lives in Gary. Like, literally, we have a mug that says, bitch, please, I'm from Gary.
She's so proud of that mug when she found it.
You wanted one of the mugs. I got you one, too. Did we get one for your sister? That we still need to send it to her.
Yeah, we do. So anyway, if my sister is listening, which she is not.
We have your mug, maybe.
We have your mug, and eventually we will send it to you.
We've used the mug, so no. We have to get another
happy
mug.
birthday / Christmas / whatever.
But yeah, if you've lived on the south side of Chicago, you ain't afraid of Goro. Sub-Zero does nothing for you.
Yeah, for all the people living for all the people, in the south,
the wild 100s.
In the wild hundreds. Get it right. From the wild hundreds, they've seen some stuff, and, they straight. They ain't worried about, random, people from a, bad side of a tournament,
Nope.
They've seen, the really incredulous stuff.
Exactly. So shout out to my man Cole and Sonia. Y'all are real ones.
Straight up.
I've never felt so close to a character before watching the movie.
That's right. The Goober had her blurred moment, and now she's reckoning for characters.
Amen. Hey. Because think about it. Look. I've been this gnome again. Bring it on, Sub-Zero.
Oh, good Lord.
So why don't we take a break? Give me a chance to straighten myself.
Yeah, get the giggles out.
Get the giggles out, exactly. When we come back, we will talk about 3 stories that meet the intersection of food and pop culture, as well as share the best thing we ate this week. So you're listening to the Gourmet Goober Podcast, and we will be right back. This episode of the Gourmet Goober Podcast is brought to you by Brush. Brush is an electric toothbrush that will change the way you think about brushing your teeth. With powerful sonic technology and an ultra-gentle bristles, the Brush redefines what it means to have super clean teeth. It's kind of like that feeling you get when you just leave the dentist. That fresh, whole mouth clean. And you get to do that every single day. And that's why the Gourmet Goober Podcast is partnering with Brush, so that our listeners get 15% off their total purchase with the code POD15. Just follow the link in the show notes and enter the code POD15 to get your exclusive discount and upgrade your oral care. Thanks for listening. Now back to the show. Hey everybody, this is JJ Outlaw.
And this is the Outlaw.
And we are back with the Gourmet Goober Podcast, covering the intersection of food and pop culture and a section of the podcast we'd like to call What's Eating Us. So today we have 3 stories that made us laugh, made us think, that we thought that we would share with everyone listening in this week. And I said this week twice, by the way. Sorry about that.
That's cool. They know.
It's been a long week.
Yep.
So the first story actually is something that may affect you if you go to Starbucks or your favorite drive-thru. You probably already experienced that. But right now, the pandemic, even though that it's coming to a resolution because there are a lot of people right now that are getting vaccinated, and please, if you haven't already done so, please get your vaccination. It's so very important to make sure that we can all go back to normal.
Or if you don't plan on getting your vaccination, I mean, we would really hope that you would, but if you don't, I can't worry about you, but at the same time, stay away from the rest of us who need to get on the right program.
Wear a mask. Please be safe. We all want this to end for various reasons. But you may have noticed that there have been a new rash of shortages that you haven't really thought of being affected by the pandemic.
Right.
And no, we're not talking about toilet paper or Lysol. We are actually talking about things such as ketchup packages.
Ketchup packets.
Ketchup packets. Chicken wings. I don't know. Boba for your favorite boba tea. Or, oh my gosh, oat milk.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part that pisses me off.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The Goobers touched it right now.
I have discovered the love, my newfound love of oat milk lattes, and now it's hard to find it. Oh my gosh.
What are you going to do? Drink regular milk like Canadians?
No, I'm not a savage. No, just kidding. Kidding, Canadian listeners, of which we have a lot of. We're just joking. Although I do think it's hilarious that, what's the name of that, Tim?
Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons, how you couldn't get any dairy alternatives when we were on vacation. I ordered an iced latte and they're like, "You gonna take this milk?
You gonna catch this milk? Like, what do you want? Yeah, can I get some soy?"
And they look at you like, "No."
Like, can I get some some coconut milk? No. The computer says no.
Computer says no.
Computer says no.
Well, anyway, according to Eat This, Not That, a new wave of supply chain issues is affecting fast food chains, and it's affecting shortages of several crucial ingredients. Not only that, but fast food restaurants and restaurants in general are now also experiencing a dearth of employees to work there as well. So not only may your service may take longer, but when you do get service, just be patient because that ketchup packing that you're requesting may come in the premium soon. So let's take a look at some of the things that they say have been affected by the pandemic. So one, which Big Daddy mourns, is in early February, there have been reports of an impending shortage of chicken wings, which we've actually experienced because we noticed that the wings were getting smaller whenever we ordered them.
Well, yeah, like y'all on the haterade with the chickens. Didn't George Wallace tell you chickens are the only animal that really does not die of natural causes?
That is true.
That's right. They end up a 2-piece.
So America's cold storage of chicken wings is at its lowest point since 2011. And this is quoted by an analyst cited by Restaurant Business. So while you may not have noticed that at your local favorite, chicken and waffle place yet, just know that in states like Texas and Wisconsin, they're actually warning their local restaurant that they're going to be running out of wings soon. Now, outside of that, more importantly, I think more restaurants, and I've been seeing reports of this on social media, is the fact that several restaurant chains are now starting to report a shortage of Heinz ketchup packets, which is actually America's #1 brand that most likely when you get a packet of ketchup, more likely than not, you don't really pay attention who's the brand. You want ketchup on your fries. You just kind of open packet and put it on. Well, actually, the brand that most often occurs because they have a lock on the restaurant industry is Heinz ketchup. And right now, there are restaurant chains that have really had to scrape from looking from ketchup brands from other providers. So, for example, the fast food chain Long John Silver's, which I never eat for various reasons, But if you're a Long John Silver fan, you may have noticed that there's going to be a rash of ketchups. In fact, particularly Heinz ketchup. And Texas Roadhouse, the famous steakhouse chain, has also reported that they are now looking to alternative to Heinz.
I'll see. Heinz had the 57 varieties of flavors, whatever the heck it is. Apparently, they only have 15 right now.
Maybe they're on vacation right now. You don't know.
They got
what happened to the rest of the 57?
Let me also ask you, it depends on what you're looking for. Is it ketchup or ketchup?
Well, I think they make ketchup. Sorry.
I know, I've been running that joke for a while.
You do. And whenever you run the joke, just in hindsight, I always think of that famous Simpson episode where Mr. Burns has to take care of himself for the first time ever.
Right.
And he's in the grocery store and he's looking at all of these different choices. And he's like, ketchup, 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 ketchup. I forget which one. I think he gets one of each.
Okay.
Because he wasn't sure which one. But yeah, ketchup is cut at a premium, as are boba balls, which you guys may not be familiar with, but I'm obsessed with boba tea. And so what those are, by the way, is that there's certain types of bubble tea, which is kind of a Taiwanese fast food beverage. So it has tea and a combination of milk and different flavors like matcha and brown sugar, and it's just delightful. Well, the balls for the boba, rather, are made from tapioca flour.
Okay.
And according to reports, there's now a shortage of tapioca flour, and it's going to be hard to come by for several months. And this is actually directly caused to a rise in a rise in the pandemic in Asian countries. So they're going through a spike, and as a result, it's affecting imports coming into the country. So America right now is actually facing a spotty supply of the bubble tea. And some companies are already running out, and they may do so by the next week or so.
Oh, see, that's just wrong. But then, of course, there's me who thought that was I don't know why I kept thinking they were the ones. You know, the things that you put in your bath water?
Oh, you talk about bath bombs. That's not boba.
Oh, never mind.
You know what the boba is? Remember when we go to the frozen yogurt place and the little flavored little circles that
little bubble balls that
right
pop.
That's boba.
Oh, okay.
So there's different types of boba, but yeah, and if you happen to love boba in your frozen yogurt, you may be affected by the shortage.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Stick with chocolate.
Now, there's also an interesting shortage that's taking place from oat milk.
Oh, here we go. Oat milk. Are you going to be okay?
I think I can live.
Okay.
I can also, yes. Am I obsessed with oat milk lattes? Of course. Because they're creamy and they're delicious and they're hella good. But will I drink in a pinch almond milk or soy? Hell yeah. They're good. So, in March, both Starbucks and a grocery store chain called Fresh Direct announced that they're experiencing temporary shortages of Oatly branded oat milk. And in fact, ever since Starbucks first announced Oatly milk as their latest dairy alternative, they've had a hard time keeping up with the demand. Now, Oatly said they plan to increase its production time with a new plant in Utah scheduled to open up last year. However, with the pandemic rising as far as, across the country, because we have not managed it as well as we should, that opening's been delayed. And so now there's several providers have been directly affected by a lack of oat milk. And it's not just Starbucks as well. So I went to Dunkin', about 2 weeks ago, I think, in order to get like an oat milk latte. And they said they were out and they didn't know when they were getting in again, this particular Dunkin' brand. So I'm not saying it's something that's affecting all the Dunkins in the area, but odds are you'll probably see that more as more people discover how incredibly delicious and creamy it is as an alternative to milk.
Can we talk to the president about this?
Why would I talk to the president about this?
I know how much you like your oat milk, so I'm trying to help you out.
You're trying to keep me caffeinated because you've seen what happens if I don't get it.
Hulk smash.
It's not old smash.
Mm.
So how do you feel about these shortages? Is there one shortage that you're just like, oh my God, outside of the oat milk, that you're freaking out on? Like
Chicken wings.
Yes, chicken wings are definitely one.
Look at me. Chicken wings.
You guys just see his face. He has this look of like befuddlement and horror. Like, I don't see how this could happen.
I showed him my stairs. Hey.
Well, it's not like there's an indefinite supply of chickens out there.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep them coming, but at the same time, did we or did we not on the previous episode reference the fact that during the NCAA tournament of the previous season that got canceled,
there was like an overabundance of chicken wings. See, we told you guys to do your duty and go out and eat your chicken wings, and apparently you just did too much of that.
Yeah, like y'all overcompensated once the pandemic really started to drag on.
This is going to be one of those times we're going to ask you not to listen to us.
Yeah, just remember when Chik-fil-A told you, like, you know...
Eat more chicken?
No, I thought it was like, was it eat more chicken or was it eat...
Yeah, it was eat more chicken because remember it's the cows and they're holding the sign because they don't want to get eaten.
Okay. Then I would like to say for the inverse.
Don't eat more chicken.
Don't eat more chicken. Take down cows.
That's gonna be you. That's gonna be your title of the podcast. In fact, I'm gonna change the logo that's on the podcast. It's just gonna be you holding a sign that says "Eat less chicken."
Eat less chicken.
And chicken is misspelled.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I would like to my public address for the foreseeable future. Everybody go vegetarian. Don't listen to me. Go vegetarian for a little while.
Okay.
Test it out, and then leave the meat to me. The carnivore will take care of that for you.
One, I don't think they're going to do that, sweetheart. Two, let me just say it's a side note, and you've had this before. The veggie chicken that I made for you, the chicken nuggets, those taste almost like chicken. They were really good.
What are you trying to get an endorsement deal out of them now?
No, I'm just saying that you're telling people to do that, and I'm like, in the pinch, that would make a really good alternative. I really like them.
They were good in a pinch.
I think what you're trying to say is, woman, don't make me that. If you can make chicken nuggets.
Yeah, if I know it's chicken, and I, because I prefer the yard bird.
But you ate it.
I did eat it, and it was good.
But then I told you what it was, and you were not happy.
Yeah. She tricks me like this to get me to eat healthier.
So, in other words, you're telling me to lie to you.
Sometimes a white lie is a good lie. Sometimes a white lie is a bad lie. I'm going to leave that to your discretion. You see, like my old boss said, sometimes use your best discretion.
So, and obviously chicken nuggets are not the same as chicken wings. And yes, boneless chicken wings are chicken nuggets. We've discussed this.
Yes, we have. The Goober is very adamant about this.
So just remember, people, please be kind to your friends at Wingstop if you order and they can't fulfill your order. Just know that the nation is suffering. And the sooner that we all do our part in order to control the coronavirus, we too can get our boba tea, ketchup packets, and chicken wings.
Yes. And oat milk.
And oat milk. So moving on to our second story, because he's wiping his eyes. Are you like tearing up at the idea of no chicken wings?
I'll get over it, but still. But still.
Well, even though there are no chicken wings, do not despair, because Disney has your latest snack already sold up for you.
And what's that, dear?
Well, it's Walt Disney World, because Big Daddy has an obsession of his own, talking about me and my oat milk. You happen to really like the corn dog.
Like, I do like the corn dog.
Yes. So it's something of a love of yours. You kind of are a corn dog aficionado. So Disney has their own take of the corn dog, which is called a fried pickle corn dog with a side of peanut butter.
Okay. Hold up. Wait a minute. I like corn dog. I have had corn dog. I have had corn dogs with, of course, your typical hot dog in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it with beef Vienna, being encased. I've had it with chicken, encased. Never have I had it with a pickle, nor do I plan on have, as I'm not like a pickle person. There are a lot of people who, if you enjoy this, that's on you. Don't send that to me. I'm not a pickle person, and I sure as hell ain't putting it in a corn dog. And I sure to the hell, I'll hell to the no.
Not a hell to the nah.
Will not be dropping that with peanut butter. Even though now I am intrigued. I wonder what would happen if I had a regular corn dog with peanut butter. I'm going to have to experiment with that.
Well, we have regular corn dog in there. And actually, I was going to make a sauté sauce.
Actually, I ate the corn dogs.
Really?
Yes.
We're out of corn dogs already?
You sound an aficionado.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. They gone.
So now I need to put that on the list. So anyway.
Yeah. So I'm at the list. Yeah.
So the fried pickle corn dog comes, and it has 3 layers. Okay, guys. So first, at its very center is the hot dog itself, right? The hot dog is then placed inside of a dill pickle. The dill pickle is then coated in a pancake batter and fried to create a crunchy panko crust. So it's like battered, and then it's coated in panko, and then they deep fry it. But wait, there's more. And then they decide to also give you a dipping sauce. Not with ketchup, mind you, but with peanut butter. So apparently this is something that has just gone wildfire and gangbusters on social media, where people are talking about whether or not they would try it. Now, to be fair, peanut butter and pickles is a common treat for a lot of people. It's something that, I did a little research before, jumping on the mic, and it used to be like a really big treat during the time of, the Great Depression and things like that, that's carried over. And I happen to have a number of friends that when they were pregnant, the thing they craved was peanut butter and pickles. So that in and of itself is not unheard of. It just seems like it's one step too far for me. And I guess I don't have to ask you if you would be willing to try it.
Yeah, I like, certain things that kind of flow together, but it's like you said, it's like if you took Pimp My Ride and you took it like 3 or 4 steps.
So it's over pimped.
Yeah, like, when you put like TVs in the tires, that's a bit much. But yeah, this
so
is
which
like,
is the over pimp point for the hot dog? Is it the peanut butter? Is it the panko crust? Is it the dill?
It's the dill. I'm not, like I said, it may be.
Because I'm obsessed with dill pickle, but I'm not sure if I would try this.
Yeah, I admit I'm the one person who does not like pickle, but at the same time, I'm not, dissuading anyone else. But yeah, it's a bit much. But this whole concoction is kind of like taking a turducken to a corn dog.
You're right.
Yes.
Now, the corn dog also costs $13.
Oh, hell to it. Nope.
So what would you say would be a fair price for this?
$1.99.
Okay, Costco.
They can sell in Costco for all I care.
Okay, although to be fair, this is Disney World, so $13 is actually pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, if you would like to try it, and I misspoke, it is not at Disney World. It is only available at one corn dog stand in all of the Disney parks in the United States. So, one, you got to go to California. So, it's Disneyland, not Disney World. Disney World's in Orlando.
So it's those damn Californians.
And you can find it at the Blue Ribbon Corn Dog Stand, located in the downtown Disney district of Disneyland. Say that 5 times fast.
So this is in Anaheim.
Yes. So not only does Anaheim have a duck problem, But they also have corn dog dill pickles with peanut butter.
And you want to know how they can solve this problem?
How?
Take the pickle out.
So
put in a damn duck. You want to go? Why? Hey, you want to pay $13?
Then it would really be a turducken.
Yeah, it would be a turducken, but at the same time, A, it would be a duck. 2, you would take care of your duck problem, and for the fact that it's a wild game, I can see why it would cost $13.
Wait! Stop!
Yes.
You know, I'm thinking about this whole scenario, and I'm going to change my mind on whether or not I would try it. And here's why.
Okay.
Just listen to me. So, even though I'm not a big corn dog fan like you, I have had corn dogs in the past, right? And I like fried pickles. It's something I picked up when I lived down south, and it's something I occasionally crave. So, also, I mean, I love a good Chicago dog, and a good Chicago dog has a pickle on it.
It does. It is something I do take off, but
okay. Yeah. I keep mine on.
Yeah.
So, all in all, you know what? I changed my mind. I think I would try it, but whether or not I would push the peanut butter, I think the peanut butter it might be a step too far for me, but seeing that I'm an adventurous person, you know, I changed my mind. I would try it. Because the parts in and of itself, I love. So who knows?
And it's not even the peanut butter that gets me. If you give me creamy or crunchy peanut butter, I'm right now, and I'm willing to test this like in 2 weeks, within the next 2 weeks. I'll get a thing of corn dogs.
Maybe we can make our own.
What?
Maybe we can make our experiment and make our own.
I ain't doing it with a damn pickle. That's on you. But at the same time, I'm willing to like take corn dogs and like add peanut butter to the mix and see what happens. But yeah, adding pickles is a bit much for me. And then, like as you said, the panko, crumbs and everything. That's taking it way over the top. But okay, whatever.
Now, just in case you can't get over to that one particular dog stand in Anaheim, California, at Disneyland, trying to chase down this particular hot corn dog, you are in luck. Because according to tasteoffood.com, there are actually 15 other weird food combinations that chefs secretly love and they indulge in themselves, either for dishes that they make for their clients, or it might be their own individual treats. So let's take a look at some of these.
Okay, spin the wheel.
So Alex Harrell, who is the chef and owner of Angeline in New Orleans, he told them that his secret weird combination that he craves is the sweet and salty flavors of red grapes and pimento stuffed olives. He said the flavors are best if the olives are at room temperature and the grapes are cold.
Okay.
Now, this next one I've actually tried before, and it's really good. I forget where, but it's kind of like a combination you sometimes see in elotes. So, according to Justin Cucci, who is the owner of Edible Beats Restaurant Group, and he told the magazine that his favorite is corn on the cob and cream cheese. That doesn't sound bad. I would eat that.
That's all you. Okay.
Chef Sean Burnett of Putnam's Pub and Cooker in Brooklyn has been a fan of marshmallows on popcorn since he was a kid. Now, that's actually something I have had.
Okay. All right. Marshmallows and popcorn.
Yeah.
Is that with or without butter?
You know, he doesn't say.
Okay. All right. Let me think about it.
Now, celebrity chef Frankie Terrazzoli said his go-to weird food combination, that is weird, is fresh tuna covered in powdered dark chocolate with chili sauce, vinegar, and smoked salt.
Was he high?
I do not know if he was high.
Did he have the munchies and really just couldn't find anything in the fridge that hour?
Well, you know, it does hit all the flavor points. So I imagine this is sort of a umami type flavor experiment.
Well, his palate is different than mine.
Now, there is a place, Chef David Burke, who is the executive chef at Tavern 62 by David Burke. he likes to eat a combination of candied bacon and pickles. So he coats the bacon with maple syrup and black pepper, and then he serves it with pickles and a lime. I would try that. That actually sounds delicious.
Once again, all you.
Chocolate and avocado is the combination that Lair Anderson, who's a food blogger and private chef, really loves. And actually, you know what? This is one that I can absolutely recommend, chocolate and avocado. I forget the brand, but there's like an avocado pudding that's out there. It's chocolate pudding and its base that it's made with is avocado. And the avocado makes it really creamy and rich and delicious. And it sounds really, really good. So yeah, I would try that. As well as there's one celebrity chef that's out there, Ken Honoré. He's chef for a restaurant called Colavita. And his favorite combination is balsamic vinegar and vanilla ice cream. And I've actually had that before, and it is delicious.
That's an affront to my sensibilities. I know I like my vanilla by ice cream, and I like it plain, but adding vinegar to it, okay, I need a minute. I'm verklempt right now.
So there is one combination that I find interesting only because I cannot eat it. But it's fried chicken and champagne.
Okay, I can get behind that one. Matter of fact, I have gotten behind that, depending on the champagne.
So fried chicken and champagne is your thing.
Huh? Oh, hell yes. Yes. I fully endorse it. Well, depending on the combination.
Well, that is actually a favorite of Chef Michael DeMaria, who is co-owner of the famous food truck Fried and Fizzy.
Okay. There we go. There's my homie right there. There's my boy. I'm gonna have to check out his spot.
So if you guys want to check out some of these weird food combinations and try them yourself, again, it's on tasteofhome.com, and I'll put a link to it in our show notes. So to wrap things out, we wanted to talk about, for our third story, something that kind of strikes me as interesting because this is a restaurant chain that is very big on customer service and personal interaction. But they're looking to do something that not only will change that dynamic, but quite frankly, might change the way that you think about getting your food.
Okay.
So Chik-fil-A, the legendary chicken restaurant, is testing out robot deliveries in California. And this is according to Restaurant Business Online. So they have this new little contraption, that's called the KiwiBot.
The KiwiBot.
The KiwiBot. So it looks like it has 4 wheels. It's like a little, you know what it looks like now that I think about it? It looks like a little cooler with 4 wheels.
It looks like Johnny 6.
Don't you mean Johnny 5?
Whatever.
So in California, what actually happens is that for an extra $1.99, you can actually have the robot be an option when you check out. So it's only at 3 locations at Santa Monica, California. And so deliveries will be made with KiwiBot 4.0 to make short deliveries.
Will it be delivered on Sunday?
Probably not. It's still Chick-fil-A, so there you go.
Well, you're useless.
But this is actually interesting because the KiwiBots are self-autonomous rovers, so they're designed to detect obstacles, including people, vehicles, and traffic lights, and they're able to navigate terrain such as sidewalks. So here's my thing, because even though, I guess you can communicate with it, it even winks. It's weird. It has like a face in the front of it, and it can scowl and it can wink.
Why do I need a robot that can scowl or wink? Next thing you know, it'll be a robot that can give me the finger.
I can see it now. You get in a fight with a robot. Wait, these aren't the wings I ordered. F you, human. This is what you get.
You know it's Chick-fil-A, so it'd be like, bless your heart.
I know.
Then literally like,
No.
blow motor oil on top of it.
No, the F you, human, that would be a delivery from Popeye.
Yeah, maybe.
We said we added chicken. Remember that one time I went to Popeye and we were waiting in line and it was like 8:15 and they close at 9 and they start their closeout procedures shortly thereafter. So I just got in just because, and there was like a whole thing of chicken, but we're all waiting for our chicken. And this lady's like, but there's chicken right here. No, that chicken's not for you.
The chicken's not for you. That shit gave.
That chicken's spoken for. You got to go.
Girlfriend was ready to go. Lady behind the counter was ready to go home.
She was like, but I want my chicken. I almost felt bad for her. And the lady's like, that's not my problem. You should have got here earlier. That's the one that will give you the finger. Okay. So let me just say, not all Popeyes. That particular one. And I was like, I'm not mad at that. That was actually low-key kind of funny to watch.
Okay, so all right, so robot from Chick-fil-A is delivering your meal.
It can take up to 30 minutes.
Okay.
The delivery average costs $1.99.
Okay, I'm with it so far, maybe. I mean, I ultimately, yes, I would like, humans to, as long as they're safe, can deliver my meal. I would prefer a human, but yeah, if that's going to save time and it keeps my food warm, then okay, sensible. But it just sounds like basically a robot delivering chicken Tesla.
That is a very good point. And the human delivery, I don't know. I find this problematic for a couple reasons, okay? Even though it's funny to think about, sassy robot coming to deliver your chicken. But there are some issues that I can think about. One, and you've pointed to it, the fact that it does take away jobs from people that need it for their families, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then two, with this lesson, I mean, think about it. We already have problems getting delivery sent to us.
Yes.
So what if they invest in this technology and they will no longer send those deliveries to us because whatever they feel may be with our neck of the woods? I imagine that there's a lot of communities out there that will be shortchanged the opportunity to get food delivered because, this is an expensive technology and we can't spend it on your neighborhood. It's too risky.
They're afraid they're going to send one of those robots out here to deliver the thing and just go get hot wire. Things are going to get the robot hasn't come back yet. We need to do GPS tracking on it. GPS go. They did that too.
Wait, we gonna jump the robot for the chicken?
We gonna jump the robot for the chicken. Chicken ain't coming back. The robot's not coming back.
Again, people, this is just a joke. We're not implying that there are communities out there that will do that. Please don't skip out on disenfranchised communities for chicken.
No. Please send all comments to my, email address. This is my voice and my voice only. At the same time, you send a robot through here. Just expect he might come back with some things on his back.
They're probably worried the robot's going to wind up seeing some things. Because like we said earlier when we talked about Mortal Kombat, you live in these areas. I'm sorry. You've seen some shit.
The robot's going to have the cops have body cams and stuff.
The robot's going to be like, dude, I saw Sub-Zero just roll through here.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to jump me. I was like, I'm not playing with you. I delivered to Gary.
This is the first time, you come back. What happened to the robot? The robot got attacked by a bobcat. How the hell does a robot get jumped by a bobcat?
It'd be like that dude that picked up the bobcat and threw it.
Yeah.
Although, can I share with the listeners what you said?
Sure.
I would be dead because we're watching. There's a viral video that's out there where a husband and wife are leaving for work. They're starting their days. They're getting their individual car. The wife gets into her car or tries to. And then she realized between the two cars is a live bobcat. And the bobcat lunges at her. She screams. Apparently, the husband walks around to where the bobcat is, physically picks it up, and chucks it in the street. I was like, damn. And I turned to Big Daddy. And I literally, this is what happened, folks. Big Daddy, would you? Nope. I couldn't even finish the question. So I'm like, so what would you tell my family? Bobcat.
Yes. What happened? Bobcat.
So I guess for better or for worse, there are some caveats to that.
Yeah, just like the
Bobcat.
I remember when you were telling me about like when you lived in Florida, like what, like you gotta make sure you look under your like
right. You have to look under a car for gators,
for alligators and whatever, because they're like up under there like doing things,
especially during mating season. That's no joke. That was one of the first things they told me when I moved there.
Yeah,
and we're watching. What were we watching? Well, we were watching Jesus and Marrow, and they were showing how this guy on the news were educating people and looking under their cars. And Big Daddy looked at me like, "Yeah, that's real."
Yeah,
why do you think I laughed?
Yeah, the Goober's telling me, like, who used to be a Floridian. The Goober over here is telling me that, yeah, you know, this was a thing in Florida. And I was like, well, hell, okay. One, this is why I ain't in Florida at this moment. But two, you can pretty much kiss your ass goodbye if a gator is going to jump you. And I'm like, well, it was a good time, but
it's been real.
Yeah, what happened?
Gator?
You'd be like, are you going to go chase it down? No. I'm gonna call like, you know, the gator catcher or call the police or whatever, but I'll call for the ambulance, but pretty much, you know, I'm sorry, you got to kiss your ass goodbye.
You know, it's nice.
I'll send the producer out there.
Okay. This. How long have we been married? 15
years.
So it'd be 16 next month, right?
Yes.
You know, it's nice to know after all this time what our limits are as far as Mrs. Jackson, I'm really sorry. Gator. Or no, Bobcat. And then I'd be calling, hey T, I'm sorry about your brother. Gator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's just call it out for what it is. Gator, Bobcat, Peacock. Pretty much. Yeah.
What was that thing that we were watching and they had those like freaky giant jumping spiders? I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. The spider comes after me. I'm basically fending for myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if it's a human, like, you know, if it's a person, yeah, I'll fight for you.
Yeah, we'll fight for it, but you know, that Bobcat.
Yeah, once I see Bobcat, I'm like, damn, she was a really good wife, but
you know, I've known her since college. She was a good one.
She was a good one.
She was real.
Yeah, she really good cooking. She was a really beautiful person, but then that alligator showed up and damn shame she, you know, the alligator did to her.
How did we get on this conversation from the robot?
I don't know. But, you know, I'll send the robot in.
Meanwhile, that robot's like, I'm out.
Send a drone.
So, just know you're in California. You, too, can get your delivery from Chik-fil-A from the Kiwi Bot. And if you think you're alone, Kiwi, the company that makes the Kiwi Bot is a California-based company called Neuro. And so they have actually started partnerships with other restaurants and other food chains, including Walmart, CVS, Kroger, Chipotle, and Domino. They're also working with Segway and Shopify. And so far to date, they've completed over 150,000 of these type of deliveries so far. And they're looking to partner with restaurants and grocery chains as a way to safely, you know, to keep the limit of spread of the coronavirus through these locations.
Okay. I like that. That's a good concept.
As long as it's not, like I said, being affected. Because think about it. The nearest Chick-fil-A from us is, what, 8 miles away. And obviously, the bot's not going to go 8 miles.
It can if I tell it to. If I pay it enough, it will.
It might cost a little more than $1.99.
I'll throw 5 on it. Okay, as a matter of fact, here's what I'm willing to say.
Okay.
If you could, if one of these drones, if it wants to take a distance, if they want to deliver like In-N-Out burgers to me, I'll throw some extra dollars on it for the delivery cost.
Well, In-N-Out burgers would take a drone. There's no In-N-Out burgers in the Midwest. Although now that I think about it, I would pay for that or Shake Shack.
Okay, yeah, there's a Shake Shack like 40 miles from here, but I'm willing to consider it.
Can you imagine the delivery of Shake Shack by drone? If it misses.
Yeah, if it misses, well, somebody gonna get a good dinner. But at the same time, they're gonna catch a shake in a very bad place.
Yeah, unless there's a bobcat. So I tell you what, we're going to take a break right now. I think we need to clear ourselves of the giggles. But when we come back, we will... sorry.
I got you, didn't I?
You did it, damn it. So when we come back, we're going to close the podcast with the best thing we ate this week. So you're listening to the Gourmet Goober. We'll be right back. Hey guys, this is JJ Outlaw.
And T Outlaw.
And we're the co-hosts of the Gourmet Goober Podcast. Let me ask you something. Have you guys ever thought about starting your own podcast?
Yes.
I know when we were starting to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions, right? Like, how do we record an episode? How do we get our shows and all those apps that people like to listen to? And more importantly, how do we make money from the podcast, right? Well, the answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're reading this ad, right?
Mm-hmm.
We love Anchor. Anchor has made it really simple to start the Gourmet Goober podcast. It's been a great thing to use, and Big Daddy's a big fan.
Yes, I am.
So if you wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, just go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join me, Big Daddy, and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey everyone, this is JJ Outlaw.
And T Outlaw.
And we are back with the last section of our podcast today on the Gourmet Goober, rounding things up as we always do, where we discuss the best places we ate this week. Just as a reminder, we are always open to suggestions to what's the best place you ate, whether it's a hole in the wall, franchise location, really awesome fast food sandwich, or maybe something you made in your own kitchen. If you have something you'd like to share, just drop us a line. You can go to the Gourmet Goober at gmail.com. Again, that's the Gourmet Goober at gmail.com. And you can drop us a line and maybe we'll share it on the show. So, as always, whenever we discuss the best thing we ate this week, also remember that if you're in the area, you can hit our show notes and we'll always tell you where to go. So, Big Daddy, as always, where's the best place you ate this week?
Best place I ate this week actually was a repeat offender. I remember a little while back, last year, we visited a food truck, and it was actually like a set of food trucks that was located near the steel yard in Gary, Indiana. And we checked out a place called Cracked. And that first time, the Goober hooked me up with some breakfast burritos, and we sampled one that was called the Dr. Seuss. That was the one I vouched for last time.
Yes.
This time I went Oppo, and I tried another one called the Hungry Chef.
Right. Isn't that the one with like the chorizo and It has hash browns and sriracha sour cream, and it's just like really super good.
Yes, it is quite hefty once you bite down into it. I
Yeah,
didn't think I'd be able to finish it, but a man of my word. I didn't go out like a quitter.
it is a huge burrito. Hey, some of you who follow us on Instagram, you may also be familiar with this place. If it sounds familiar, it's because I shot a regional bite video. Talk about a throwback to the past when we used a podcast. I'm sorry, we used a food blog. Just as a side note, regional bites are what we called the area of our food blog, where we covered specific local gems within the Northwest Indiana area. So yeah, I decided to shoot my first video going back to regional bites because, given the magic of Instagram Live, you can do that. But yeah, I shot a video in front of Cracked The Egg Comes First. Actually, when I was picking up your your burrito, actually. And yeah, Big Daddy, he wolfed it down. But yeah, you get a pretty sizable, I'm talking like a 2-fister burrito, right?
Right.
And it's like only $6.50. You cannot beat that. And with the hash browns and the chorizo and what was it, pepper jack cheese, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like crazy good. And it had like all of these different things, plus a sriracha. And then you pair that with the truffle tots.
Truffle tots.
Oh,
very decadent. That's a good breakfast for you.
Good, yes. Oh my gosh. So I'm surprised because I know that the last time we visited, like you said, you really fell in love with the Dr. Seuss, which shocked me because the Dr. Seuss has spinach, y'all. And we all know Big Daddy does not like the veggies. But you really dug it. So
yeah, it also had pesto, and I'm always kind of, depending on the meal, either with pesto or not pesto. But that time, hey, I was a big fan of the Dr. Seuss. Actually, but wait a minute, it had bacon. Bacon heals everything.
Exactly. There's no shame with bacon.
Yes, bacon heals a lot.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you liked it. And actually, it's pretty funny that you named that as your best thing this week because just to kind of give you an idea about Cracked. Cracked is actually a food truck that is an offshoot of a very popular Chicago restaurant. I think they have one location in Wicker Park, I want to say. Either that or the South Loop. I'll put the link in the notes so you can find out. But they also had one in Champaign, Illinois, at the University of Illinois Champaign. And the chef, I guess, had a connection to Gary and wanted to offer something to the people as they left the steel yards and give them something kind of unique that you don't see in Gary. Because it's not like there's a lot of food. Well, there are food trucks. I'm not going to lie to you. But those are the food trucks that, that are independent largely, that they kind of just set up shop for the day or so. Which some of them are actually pretty good, some of the barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Tips for You. Yeah, those were good. We had that at the food truck thing they had in Gary.
Food Truckapalooza. No.
Yeah. In the park. But yeah, they decided to set up a particular food truck in the area. And there's two in this location that they commonly called the Fifth Avenue Food Stop. So my best thing I ate this week was from the other food truck location at this little food stop. Again, in Gary, Indiana, next to the steel yard where the Rail Cats play. And
the minor league baseball affiliate.
Yes. By the way, just a side note, it's my goal to do a show at the Rail Cats one day. I love them. They are just a really good time. Yeah, my favorite actually comes from the sister location, right next to the Cracked Egg King front, and it's called Blacktop Barbecue. And Blacktop Barbecue specializes in Southern old-fashioned soul food / barbecue. So you can get your ribs, you can get your brisket, you can get collard greens, you can get really good mac and cheese. Not the kind that comes in Blue Cocks and you sprinkle cheese powder on it. No, I'm talking baked mac and cheese your grandmama made on Sunday morning while you getting ready to go to church. She put her foot in it. That mac and cheese.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So I actually, the other day, I was so excited when I found out that it came first. Their food truck had came back. And I'm trying not to laugh because our dog is playing with the squeaky toy right now. So if you hear squeaky, that's what it is. Anyway, as he's squeaking away.
That could be me. Who's telling? I'm not playing with it.
I'm looking at you. I think it's the dog.
You don't know where my hands are.
Look, unless you grew 4 feet in a tail, it's another 2 feet in a tail.
You don't know what's back there.
I would think I should, but that's okay. Anyway, I was so excited to see that they have come back after a brief hiatus away from the area. That I went there for lunch and got Big Daddy a sandwich too. The thing I love about them is the food is really incredibly good. So you can get a gourmet meal at an unexpected location, but they also give you this incredible portion, right? So I hooked us up each with a one of their brisket sandwiches, and I'm telling you, it is smoked to perfection. You get it on like this huge, I think it was a potato bun.
Yeah. I'm almost sure it was.
Yeah. The sauce is really just perfect. And it has a kind of tang and sweetness balance that really sets off the brisket.
I mean, it was good for their brisket. I don't know. I would challenge their sauce.
Really?
Hey, I gotta call it like I see it. The sauce was good. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was decent. No, it was good.
And you know what? Let me just say this, because to be fair, you're tough on everybody's sauce.
I am.
You are.
The Food Network guy, his sauce.
Okay. All right. His sauce was really bad, though. Let's face it. It was drippy. What was this? It was Jeff. What was the name of that place we went to? Pork and Mindy?
Yeah, it was Pork and Mindy's. Yeah, it was.
And the sauce was kind of flavorless and kind of runny, and it didn't seem like barbecue sauce. So, to be fair, I know that you're a tough sell on barbecue sauce.
I am.
Because the ultimate sauce was that one place that we went to in Wisconsin.
Oh, in Lake Geneva.
Yeah.
It was Bill. I was pleasantly surprised, which was weird for Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. But the one in Gary was actually pretty decent.
Well, here's the thing. If you are a mere barbecue mortal like myself, I do recommend hitting them up and just trying it. I really enjoyed it. I know you did as well, although obviously for you, the sauce is not up to the penultimate of what we found in Wisconsin. But yeah, they're just really nice people. And so I'm just really glad to kind of give them a shout out this week. So, wow. It's rare that we choose like the same place, but like different spaces.
Right.
So I guess the Fifth Avenue food stop, whether you come in the morning for Cracked, the egg comes first, or if you come for the Black Top Barbecue, best thing we ate this week. So if you're in the Gary area, as always, I'll put the link in the notes so you can find and meet the fine crew. And as always, tell them that the Gourmet Goober sent you. So, Big Daddy, where can they find you on social media?
Well, you can once again find me on Twitter at TOutlaw and on Instagram at TOutlaw Chelsea Wells.
Well, you can find me, JJ Outlaw, on Twitter at JJ Outlaw. And as always, I'm at the Gourmet Goober, Gourmet Goober rather, on Instagram. Drop us a line at thegourmetgoober@gmail.com if you have any questions.